It's easy to create customized rubrics with GradeOn. Once you've selected GradeOn from your menu, select the Rubrics tab. If you're creating a rubric for the first time, you'll see a button that you can select. You need to name your rubric, and you can add additional details if you would like. I'll name my first rubric Basic Writing, and I'll add an additional detail, let's say for first quarter 2023, and then I'll select Create. I can then start to populate my rubric based on specific criteria that I set. I'll name the first criterion, let's say commas, and I can decide whether I want my comments to result in point reductions or additions or nothing at all, and that will impact the student's final grade. So let's say -1. I then have the option of deciding whether I want the point value to apply to all existing comments for a particular criteria, and that will show up when I exit the box there, or I can change the point value for each comment. And so I'll select yes, and then you'll see that that -1 shows up for every single comment. I can add a brief description to help me remember what I want that particular criterion to focus on. So let's say basic, rules. No need to get too fancy here. You have a color choice because you'll see on the assessment page that you can filter your comment categories by color. The default shade is this blue, but you can select a different color from the color picker. I think I'll be daring today and select this shade of blue. Then I can create the language for each of my comments. So something like, you need a comma here to separate two independent clauses. I want to make sure my spelling is correct here. And then I can also create my comments in a way that starts a conversation with my students. So here's an example. You don't need a comma here. Why not? And the other thing that's really nice about the customizability of the comments is that you can also refer students to particular learning objectives or to Common Core standards or to a particular page or space in a resource if that's something that you want to do. Let's add one more criterion. And it's as easy as selecting the Add Criterion button. And I think what I'll do here is add a style criterion. So let's call this one Passive Voice. And I think what I'll do is add a stiffer point reduction here because I really want my students to pay attention to this criterion, and I'll have that apply to every comment within this particular category. And I'll add a description here. So let's just say Basic Passive Voice, and I'll change the color here, let's say orange, and so every comment associated with the comments under this criterion will be orange, and then I'll put in the specific comment. And that might be something like, you have passive voice here, revised to active voice for more specific writing. And I'm set. I can select Save at any point in the process and come back to my work if I need to. Once you save your rubric, you will be able to find it in the grading details and attach it to your course. And to edit, simply go back to the rubrics, and if you don't see the expanded version but you see it in list form, simply select the 3 dots and select Edit, and then you're good to go and ready to edit again. One last point, to create a completely new rubric, just select the blue button with the plus that's in the lower right hand part of the screen, and that gives you a new template for a new rubric. And that's it.